Hey everybody, congratulations! You're rolling out e-invoicing. Either you have to because of a country mandate or you want to because the business benefits are so obvious. You start working with procurement, accounts receivables, tax and IT on a plan and a scope. And then you realise, while we're asking suppliers to onboard, why not ask them to do a few other things as well? So we can all optimise the talk time and really improve P2P. So what do I mean by this? Well, while you're thinking about and planning for e-invoicing, why not fold in a few other things? Here are 6 good ideas. Number 1, use the moment to consolidate your supply base. Great idea. As you grow your company, your supplier base balloons. Sometimes we forget to assess the ballooning and only check in with the supplier base size when it's already feeling a bit bloated. And when we do take a look, we're like, hey, we went from 12,000 live suppliers to 16,000 suppliers in 6 months. It keeps things tidy to consolidate systematically. And it helps with governance, purchasing power, risk, mitigation, and cost reduction. E-invoicing provides a great moment to consolidate. Number 2, look at how you might standardize your payment runs. Even an established shared services will have multiple payment runs across a region, say Europe. Growth through acquisitions or country-specific requests may have encouraged entities or countries to ask for different runs. If you can move suppliers onto standardized payment runs, so they are paid during a run that happens, say, once a week or twice a month, this is ideal for the buyer. But be careful not to frustrate your suppliers. Number 3, standardize your payment terms. Okay, buyers, take heed. This is where you need to be super careful. It's great to use this time to standardize payment terms, but do so with consideration and care. Don't decide on your terms in a vacuum, i.e., don't just think about your needs. Think about your wonderful suppliers. If your terms are 30 days, and you're thinking it's sensible to improve working capital a bit and increase your DPO, your days paid outstanding a bit, to say 40 days, or more commonly 45 days, let your suppliers know this is happening and communicate with care. You might have to wait till contract renewals come up with some suppliers. Remember, you'd be asking your suppliers to float what is technically their money for an extra 10 to 15 days, and this could actually hurt some suppliers. Now, I speak from experience. Recently, I was asked to onboard onto Ariba by a client. Historically, my payment terms with the client had been 14 days, good terms, but while onboarding to Ariba, I was told my payment terms would be extended to 70 days. Yikes! I wouldn't see my money for an additional 56 days. That's almost 2 months of float. That's not right. 30-day terms I can live with, 45 days at a push, but 60? No way. 70? You got to be kidding me. Just no. I have some buddies on LinkedIn, so I decided to ask them if I was being unreasonable. So I put out a little poll. Should I acquiesce? Now 7% said yes, agreed to the 70 days. 45% said no, push for 14 days. 49% said meet in the middle, agree on 30 days. 130 votes in total, thank you. Some friends responded with further thoughts, which I've shared in an article, and the link is in my LinkedIn post. So, number 4, third-party risk assessment and scoring. This is a biggie right now. While onboarding suppliers to your e-invoicing program, it's a great time to run due diligence on each supplier to understand risks and suitability for your business. Little plug, Shared Services Link is running a webinar with John Lewis in April, which covers how John Lewis Finance Ops is leading the management of third-party risk with the help of Cooper. Again, link in the post. According to my buddy from John Lewis, and the guy who's going to be presenting in April, Chris Darlington, third-party risk management is owned and governed by procurement within John Lewis, but the management requires features that shared services excel at. Shared services operate at scale, and set systems up to continuously check. These are two operational characteristics required for solid third-party risk management. So it makes sense for Chris and the finance services team to own it. Number 5, improve your PO rate and move more spend under management. Control and visibility are 2 key words for shared services in 2025. If your buyers are buying from suppliers that are not approved or preferred, this needs to change, because this maverick behaviour compromises your company's ability to reduce cost and mitigate risk and leverage supplier relationships. The more spend you have under management, the higher your PO rate. The higher your PO rate, the higher your straight-through processing and touchless rates will be right across purchase to pay. Number 6, onboard suppliers to your discounting program. Early payment discounting or dynamic discounting programs deliver savings between, get this, 1% and 3% of the total value of in-scope invoices. Pretty big. AP needs to be able to process the invoice quickly and pay quickly in order to take the discount. Back to John Lewis and their webinar, they have an average invoice to pay cycle time of only 4 days, which means a discounting program is totally achievable. If you're going for the classic 2, 10, net 30, and your average cycle time is 11 days to pay an invoice, you have a little work to do to speed up your cycle. See the article in the post for more info. To wrap this up, efficiency gains in P2P abound, and if you're running an onboarding program with your suppliers, it's ideal to maximize the moment and weave in other programs. But don't overwhelm them. Seek your savings, but not ruthlessly. Remember, suppliers are your partners, and they are people. Look after them. It's not always just about the profit.